everybody. My name is Bhumika and I wholeheartedly welcome each one of you to this video. Your JEE Main exam is right around the corner, and in this very limited time that is remaining, what you have to ensure compulsorily is that each and every move that you make is absolutely perfect. Each and every decision that you take is only and only towards increasing your chances of performing better in the exam. Each and every choice that you make only takes you ahead in the game. Correct? And in order to help you out in this, I have come here today to share with you some of the most common mistakes which you must avoid in this final lap of preparation as well as on the D-Day when you are actually taking the exam. Okay, but before I move straight into it, let me first of all acknowledge a fact. See, I know this entire process of preparing for the JEE exam is extremely overwhelming, isn't it? There are times when we all feel the need of some expert guidance who can very honestly mentor us as to how exactly to prepare, how exactly to practice, how exactly to learn. There are times when we actually lose track of our progress. We lose track of our areas of improvement because the syllabus is so damn huge, right? But you know what? No need to worry anymore because I have one-stop solution to all your problems which you face throughout the preparation journey. It is the Aakash app for JEE and NEET. Why I'm saying so is because this app has some of the most amazing and unique features. I'll share one of them with you. You know, the algorithm in this app actually guides you throughout your learning journey and it adapts itself according to your concept proficiencies. What I mean is, let's say the app brings before you a question and you end up marking it wrong. That would imply that your understanding or your grip over that particular concept is not that strong, right? So as the next question, the app automatically is going to bring before you a question of a lesser difficulty level. And that will keep on continuing till the time you don't master that concept. Once you start getting your questions right, after that, automatically the app is going to assess that, okay, your understanding over the concept has been now pitch perfect. So the level of the questions will increase slowly and gradually. See, every student is different. Every student is unique. This app allows you to study, to learn, to understand at your own sweet pace. Okay, did you understand? Basically, it helps you work on your weakness and helps you improve those weaknesses. I also want to bring to your knowledge the live classes that are conducted. Basically, if you have not checked them out yet, you must do that. They are based on dual teacher model. So you get to learn from a live expert faculty, and along with that, simultaneously, you also get access to videos of many star faculties. I would highly recommend you to book a free trial class today itself to explore this live class feature. Also, you have to go ahead and download the Aakash app for JEE and NEET and just explore it, okay? Just explore it. You will realize that it is actually going to provide you with the best possible experience of learning, preparing, as well as excelling at your exam, okay? On this note, it's time to start with the agenda for today. That is the most common mistakes which we must avoid during this final lap, this last mile of preparing for the exam, as well as the mistakes that we can avoid on the D-Day itself. Number 1, selection of section and time distribution to each section. See guys, it's a golden rule that you have to start with your strength subject. Yes. Whichever subject out of physics, chemistry and math is your strength, you have to compulsorily start with that. Why? Because point number 1, the chances of you being able to crack its questions is first of all very high. And number 2, understand the psychology. Understand the psychology, people. Right in the beginning, if you get your first 3 to 5 questions correct, what happens is that your confidence level shoots up immensely. All the good hormones in your body, in your mind get a very, very strong boost. And what happens as a result is you get all charged up, all pumped up, all pepped up to even crack the difficult questions which are there after that. Whereas on the contrary, if let's say you end up getting your first 5 questions wrong, you are struggling with the first 5 questions, you don't know how to crack them, what will happen is you will get very, very highly demotivated. As a result of which, even if the 6th question which is there in the row is something that you are aware of solving, you will not have the energy to invest in that question. You will not be pushed enough to brainstorm upon that question, and there are high chances that you will end up marking it wrong. That's not a situation that we want to be in. Okay, so you have to start with something that is your strength. Many a times it happens that during the mock paper, जब बच्चे mock देते हैं तो उनको realize होता है कि oh my god, physics में अच्छा perform नहीं किया तो overall score कम हो गया है, for example. तो on the D-Day when they are actually taking the JEE Main exam, they are like आज मैं physics पहले करूँगा ताकि मेरा overall score affect ना हो. But you have to understand that your first target is to meet the cutoff, to actually clear the cutoff, and then you have to work upon boosting your score, right? And clearing the cutoff always happens with the help of your strengths, your strong areas, something that you are sure about, okay? And that you can capture from your very, very strong subjects. So don't commit this mistake of starting with the wrong subject. It will really, really make you regret big time. Next, time distribution to each section. Well, let's say you have decided to dedicate 1 hour to a particular subject, which is your first subject that you are attempting, your favorite, your strength. Then be conscious, be very, very conscious that the moment 1 hour is over, you are stopping right there and switching to the next section, whatever that is. At every stage, at every moment of taking the paper, you have to consciously time yourself. You know, just like nobody likes to lose money, when you are taking the paper, every microsecond is money and you don't want to lose that. Okay? Don't get emotional with any section, don't get emotional with any subject, don't get emotional with any chapter or any question. The moment your stipulated time, your cutoff time is over, just stop right there, move on to the next section. In chemistry, many a times it happens, बच्चों को बहुत कम time लगता है to complete the chemistry section, अगर उनका वो strong area है तो in that situation 30 to 40 minutes में chemistry खत्म करके you can go back to the questions which were remaining from your strong section. Alright, also I would like to say कि आपका time distribution to each question is also very, very important. Suppose आपने 2 से 2.5 मिनट रखे हैं कि आप एक सवाल को दोगे, तो please be conscious again, very, very conscious कि अगर आपका किसी सवाल में 3-4 मिनट क्रॉस हो गया है, stop right there. वो अलार्म बज जाना चाहिए कि बस, भले ये सवाल मेरे बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग चैप्टर से है, जिसको मैंने बहुत पढ़ा था, जिसको मैंने बहुत प्रैक्टिस किया था, even then you have to move past that. Okay, don't get stuck. हर सवाल से आपको 4 नंबर ही मिलने वाले हैं, तो इमोशनल सवाल के साथ बिल्कुल नहीं होना है, ईगो पे नहीं लेना है. जैसे जिम में कहते हैं ना, लिफ्ट द वेट्स, डोंट लिफ्ट द ईगो. Here also you have to lift your score, you don't have to lift your ego. अपना ईगो एग्जाम हॉल के बाहर छोड़ के फिर पेपर अटेम्प्ट करना, ठीक है? सो यू डोंट हैव टू लूज टाइम इवन ऑन अटेम्प्टिंग द क्वेश्चंस. ऑलराइट, नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज एनालाइज द क्वेश्चंस क्विकली. नाउ व्हाट डज दिस मीन? जैसे ही आपके पास पेपर आता है, आप सबसे पहले पेन उठा के सॉल्व करने नहीं लगेंगे. यू हैव टू गिव योर सेल्फ अ गुड 5 to 10 to 15 minute विंडो. दैट्स एन इन्वेस्टमेंट. That's not time waste, that is investment. उस 10 मिनट में आपको पूरा पेपर क्विकली एक ग्लांस मारनी है, हर सवाल को क्विकली एनालाइज करना है एंड कैटेगराइज करना है इनटू 3 कैटेगरीज, अल्फा बीटा गामा लेट्स से, या कुछ लोग ABC करते हैं. बेसिकली द एम इज कि अल्फा वो सवाल होते हैं जो चिंदी सवाल होते हैं, यू नो, फ्रीबीज, जिनको यू कैन सॉल्व इन अ जिफी. मे बी आप पढ़ो और दिमाग में ही आपने सॉल्व कर लिया. सो दोज टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस आर अल्फा क्वेश्चंस. नेक्स्ट अप इज बीटा क्वेश्चंस, जो थोड़े मीडियम लेवल के होते हैं, ठीक है? एकदम से नहीं बन रहा है, लेकिन पता है कि यार 2-3 स्टेप लिखेंगे ना तो बन जाएगा. मतलब द अप्रोच, द ड्राइव इज एब्सोल्युटली क्लियर, द स्टेप बाय स्टेप अप्रोच इज एब्सोल्युटली क्लियर. देन देयर आर गामा क्वेश्चंस जो उस वक्त बाउंसर मार के निकल गए, ठीक है, नहीं चमक रहा बिल्कुल भी, बट कोई बात नहीं, उन पे आखिरी में आएंगे। और उसी कैटेगरी में वो क्वेश्चंस आ जाते हैं जिनको आप समझ जाते हो कि यार ये तो छोड़ना ही छोड़ना है। ओके, तो दिस इज हाउ यू एनालाइज द पेपर अकॉर्डिंग टू योर सेल्फ। आई अंडरस्टैंडिंग? एक बार आपने पूरे पेपर को अल्फा बीटा गामा कैटेगरी में डिवाइड कर लिया, देन व्हेन यू विल कम बैक एंड सॉल्व इट, व्हाट विल हैपन इज आप बहुत सिस्टमैटिकली पेपर सॉल्व करेंगे। आप में अच्छा खासा कॉन्फिडेंस मेंटेन रहेगा थ्रू आउट द पेपर। You will not get misled at all, and your chances of acing in the exam are going to increase tremendously. Next up is read the options carefully. Many a times it happens कि हमको सवाल बनता होता है, हम रफ वर्क में उसको करेक्टली सॉल्व भी कर लेते हैं, सही आंसर तक भी पहुंच जाते हैं, बट स्टिल वी समहाउ मार्क द इनकरेक्ट ऑप्शन बिकॉज ऑफ विच वी एंड अप लूजिंग मार्क्स. That is a situation which we have to very, very firmly avoid. See, JEE is famous for putting such options that can mislead you, that can deceive you. And you have to save yourself, protect yourself from falling in that trap. जैसे कई बार सवाल में लिखा होता है कि which of the options are not correct. वो not नहीं पढ़ पाते हैं हम. Right? Similarly, जब आप elimination technique से कोई सवाल solve कर रहे हो, उस वक्त अगर आपने किसी भी ऑप्शन को बाय मिस्टेक गलत पढ़ लिया, गलत इंटरप्रेट कर लिया, यू कैन लैंड योर सेल्फ इन अ ट्रबल, राइट? सो यू हैव टू बी फोकस्ड लाइक अ लेजर बीम while reading the statement of the question, while collecting the data points given in the question, and while also reading the options. Cool? Moving on, we have revision. Oh my God. In this entire list of things that I'm sharing with you, the most important one, the most integral one is revision. Revision should be a part of your daily regime when you are preparing. देखो यार, it is not important how much you are eating. What is important is how much of that are you able to digest. Similarly, it is not important how much you are studying. It is not important how many hours you are putting in to learn a particular concept or to ace a particular subject. No. What's important is how much of all that learning, of all that studying, are you able to retain in your memory? How much of that are you able to imbibe in your mind? How much of that are you able to internalize in your system? Are you understanding? So you have to be very, very strict with yourself and make a daily revision scheme or a weekly revision scheme at max. Basically, whatever you've studied in a particular week, at the end of it, before the next week, the new week kicks in, you have to make sure that you are revising everything you've learned in that week. You are recollecting thoroughly all that new that you had put inside your head. Are you understanding? Otherwise, होगा क्या ना कि आप सिर्फ पढ़ते जाओगे, सोचोगे मैं बाद में रिवीजन करूँगी, उससे सिर्फ ये कंडीशन आती है कि आगे पाठ पीछे सपाट, जिसमें you don't want to land yourself, trust me. I know a lot of students who think कि यार बाद में रिविजन कर लेंगे, and last minute revision, trust me, I'm speaking with experience, only and only creates burden, creates panic, creates a lot of stress. और ऐसे बच्चे जो पूरी रात पढ़ते तो हैं कि हाँ पूरी रात हमारी है, हम सोएंगे नहीं, हम पढ़ लेंगे, हम रिवाइज कर लेंगे, वो नेक्स्ट डे जब पेपर देने जाते हैं, they get so exhausted, so tired that they end up facing a blackout. और उनके अंदर एनर्जी नहीं बचती, इवन व्हेन दे नो द क्वेश्चन, उनके अंदर एनर्जी नहीं बचती टू पिक अप द पेन, ब्रेनस्टॉर्म अपॉन द क्वेश्चन एंड एक्चुअली सॉल्व इट. व्हाई डू यू वांट टू लैंड योरसेल्फ इन सच अ कंडीशन, राइट? सो प्लीज focus upon digesting more rather than just eating more. Moving on, we have, again, very important point, not sticking to the schedule. Now, what happens is, we are generally not able to stick to the schedule, to follow the timetable that we have made when it is very, very generalized, when it is not objective. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आपने ये डिसाइड किया है कि फॉर टुमारोज डे आई एम गोइंग टू प्रैक्टिस वेक्टर एल्जेब्रा, दैट्स द टारगेट, फुल स्टॉप, That's a wrong way of making the schedule. You have to break it down to as much detail as possible. You have to write, I will be solving 25 questions from this XYZ whatever book, okay, based upon the topic of, let's say, cross product of vectors. And you have to also mention the stipulated time that you are allowing yourself to do this. Say, for example, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. for example, 3 hours I am allotting for this. This is exactly when you will be able to track your progress. And this is exactly when you will be able to stick to what you've written in the schedule. Are you understanding? So don't make generalized timetables. No, they are a very big flop idea. Make detailed, objective timetables. Are you understanding? That helps you track how much of it are you able to follow. And number two, what it does is it inculcates a sense of discipline inside you. Because what you are unknowingly practicing is walk your talk. Walk your talk. You know, when we say something or when we write something or when we decide something and we are able to execute it perfectly, successfully, it gives us a sense of achievement, which obviously makes us it makes us feel good about ourselves, right? And that is why what happens as a result, the next day we want to replicate it in order to again feel good about ourselves. And then again the next day, and that creates a snowball effect. And what eventually happens is you start enjoying discipline. You start enjoying a disciplined way of living life. Are you understanding? And that's when following a schedule, following a regime becomes effortless for you. I never promote students to set a goal for themselves. I rather ask them to set good habits which can make you reach that goal. Every single day when you follow those habits, trust me, nobody can stop you from achieving the goal that you have decided to. Next point is focusing more on quantity than quality. Now understand, people, given the fact that you have such less time remaining in your hands, you cannot prioritize quantity. What I mean is you cannot focus upon studying each and everything from a new chapter, which is not your strength, with which you have not spent much time. But having said that, I would also like to clarify that I am not going to suggest you to leave a chapter completely. Why? Because as per the pattern of JEE Main, on an average, at least one question is asked from every chapter. So this is the situation where quality kicks in. Quality comes to the rescue. What I mean is that you have to play smart. You have to play strategically. You should ideally solve more and more previous year questions, more and more mock test papers, at least one mock test paper per week, that is bare minimum, and then analyze all of that very thoroughly, very minutely. You will be able to catch hold of those key concepts, those prime results and formulas which are repeating again and again and again, which hold the maximum weightage in the paper. And that's how, instead of preparing the entire chapter, instead of investing so much of time in studying each and everything from that new chapter, you can just make those concepts strong. Are you understanding? That's how you have to play smart and prepare smart, prepare right. Okay? Also, when I talk about focusing on quality over quantity, what happens is many a time students ask, what are the books that we should refer to in order to prepare? कौन सी books अभी practice करें? किस book के सवाल लगाएं? यार देखो, जितना कम समय बचा है ना, right now you should not allow anything new to enter your system. Already whatever you've studied, just focus upon polishing that, strengthening that, making it more and more stronger by multiple revisions. 3 times revision, 4 times revision, 5 times revision. That should be your target, because if in this end moment you start collecting new notes from somewhere, you start practicing new books from somewhere, it will only and only create confusion. It will only and only create mess in your head. And whatever you already know also, that will just get hazy and blurred, which is something that you do not want. Okay, so only and only focus upon your own handwritten notes and your mock test papers, previous year questions, that's it. This should be your data set from which you are preparing. Cool. Moving on, Next point is to believe in yourself and stay calm. See people, I cannot emphasize upon the power of self-talk. वो कहते हैं ना, what you feed grows. If you feed positivity, if you feed confidence, if you feed self-belief, that will automatically and for sure impact your actions, which will result in positive outcomes for sure. Okay, so you have to have a positive self-talk with yourself. अगर आप खुद पे believe नहीं करेंगे तो कोई और भी आप पे believe नहीं करेगा. All right. Please have faith in your capabilities, have faith in all the effort that you've put in day in and day out towards your goal. Universe is going to reward your honesty. Have faith. Also, I want to talk about a very, very beautiful quality of staying calm. You know, all the toppers, you can ask them, they have this key quality of staying calm during an exam. Many a times it happens कि हमें सवाल बनता होता है, हमारी तैयारी एकदम pitch perfect होती है. But when we actually look at the question paper, we get anxious, we get stressed, we get so much tensed कि उस tension में हमसे सवाल गलत हो जाता है क्योंकि we end up committing silly errors. ठीक है? And that is a huge, huge disappointment. You have to master the art of staying calm during an exam, and for that what you can practice is कि हर दिन just for 10 minutes practice breath work. Just close your eyes, deep inhale, deep exhale या फिर प्राणायाम कर लो, but do that, it will calm your nerves down and it will show results on the D-Day, on the day of your exam. The next point of discussion is not having a good peer group. You know, it's said that you are an average of 5 people you spend most of your time with. So if you are preparing for such a crucial, such a prestigious exam, which is one of the toughest exams in the country, those handful of people whom you interact with the most, whom you spend most of your time with, you have to choose them very, very wisely. They should contribute to your growth, contribute to your betterment. They should be problem solvers and not problem creators. If that immediate circle of people, if that peer group that you spend most of your time with is not good, you will end up wasting a lot of your precious time, after which all you would be left to do is regret. And you do not want to land yourself in that situation. Correct? Also, when I talk about having a peer group, people who really like to study in groups must know that how much ever you are studying in groups, that's fine, but you should not ever underestimate the power of self-study. Okay? It has a different level of power to actually impact your preparation and impact the retention of the content inside your head. You have to make sure that you are dedicating a certain amount of time, certain good number of hours to just sit with yourself and study. Okay? Next point is getting distracted. Well, such a common complaint of all the students. You all know that the first and foremost source of maximum distraction is a cell phone, your mobile phone. And you will find plethora of videos on the internet which will teach you how to minimize the usage of phone. But what I want to tell you today is that if your motive is clear, if your why is clear, why do you want to achieve your dream? The answer is clear. Trust me, 24/7, all the time, your mind will be filled with the idea, with the strategies of achieving your dream. You will have absolutely no room, no space left to accommodate any other thought, any random activity, any negative action whatsoever. So nothing in the world is going to have the power to budge your focus. Nothing which is going on in the outside world around you is going to have the capability to distract you. Because distractions तो होंगे, डेफिनेटली होंगे. कभी घर में कोई आ जाएगा, कभी किसी दोस्त का कॉल आ जाएगा, कभी न्यूज़ में कुछ आ जाएगा, कभी सोशल मीडिया में कुछ देख लोगे. ऑफ कोर्स होंगे. लेकिन वो आपको इम्पैक्ट कर पाएंगे? हाँ, सिर्फ तब जब आपका वाई क्लियर नहीं होगा. इफ योर वाई इज क्लियर, crystal clear, then nothing can distract you. Okay? Moving on to the next thing, which is very, very important, you must choose your mentor extremely wisely. क्योंकि in your preparation journey, you don't just face academic struggle, you don't just face academic doubts, you also face mental struggles, temperament struggles. Isn't it? कभी कभी मोटिवेशन एकदम डिप डाउन हो जाता है, एंथुजियाज्म एकदम डाउन हो जाता है. आपने सवाल प्रैक्टिस किए, लगातार 5-6 सवाल गलत हो गए, यू आर लाइक सेल्फ डाउट में चले गए, राइट? होपलेस हो गए. सो in these situations, you need a constant support. You need somebody standing like an unbreakable wall beside you to hold your hand and make you sail through that journey. I know it's tough and we all need help. So that help, that mentor, that guide should be very wisely chosen. Next up is not asking enough doubts. Do not commit the crime of absorbing your doubts or sleeping over your doubts or brushing them under the carpet. Do not do that. It is detrimental to your growth. Okay, so no matter how silly your doubt is, first of all, understand no doubt is silly in the world. Ask that doubt, clear it out, and then move on to the next thing. Got it? You will really thank me for this one. Next and the very last point that I want to talk about is, as I just mentioned, it's very, very easy in the preparation journey to start doubting yourself, to second guess your capabilities. But that is like a slow poison, It will bring out the worst inside you over time. And you don't deserve that. You do not deserve that because you are way stronger than you actually believe you are. You have come this far, it's just one last mile left. Do not rest before you reach the end goal. Okay? So do not waste time in doubting yourself, in negative self-talking with yourself. No. Just completely focus on preparing, just completely focus on chasing your dream so that there is no room left for self-doubt only. And we have not being honest. Even if you have the world's best resources, everything is perfectly available to you. Even then, if you are deceiving yourself, if you are lying to yourself, trust me, you're not reaching anywhere. You have to accept your truth, you have to accept your reality because you are your best judge. आपको पता है कि आप किस लेवल पे हो, आपको पता है कि एक्चुअली में आपकी वीकनेसेस क्या हैं, आपके एरियाज ऑफ इम्प्रूवमेंट क्या हैं, आपको किस जगह ज़्यादा मेहनत करने की ज़रूरत है, किस जगह कम. सिर्फ दुनिया को दिखाने के लिए, दुनिया के सामने बड़ा बनने के लिए झूठ नहीं बोलना है, आपको वो कहीं भी नहीं ले जाएगा. Be brutally honest with yourself. And you will thank yourself in the long run. Okay? On this note, it's time for me to take your leave. I hope each and every point that we've discussed today, you have found it fruitful, you found it effective, and you found it helpful. Right? It's me, Bhumika, signing off, people. Take care, keep learning. We'll see you super soon again. Bye-bye.